Hey Shazam, wanted to do a video for you today that's all about sharing the business. You know, this is the most exciting part of the business. Love talking about it, love helping other people experience it, love helping people expand their thought processes from can't to can and watching their confidence levels grow, but also did you know sharing the business with others when they welcome your unit and then your team, that when you help others reach their dreams, you reach yours. That the true income and the big gifts is from building a team. And so we want to expand your thought processes of why recruit, why share the business, and how do we start that process. I'm going to be sitting down and just talking with you guys different steps and different processes, trying to make it extremely simple. But I'm going to take you into the studio for a second and I'm going to show you the display that we have, and then I'll come back with you and we will truly look at the how-tos and the whys. So again, I'm going to show you the display that we have, and this is the entire kit with the warning envelope, with the apron, the say yes offer. We've got some fake food in there, right? So just get a good look. There's a reason I wanted you to see that. And that reason is, what does your display look like when you go to your parties? Now, you saw in there that there was a money boa. Not saying you have to have a money boa. Not saying you have to do a lot of extras, but I am sharing that you want your table to talk before you talk, right? So you might be mingling with other people, but when they walk into the room where the display is, if you're not able to stand by there, right, you want it to tell a story before you even open your mouth. So some simple things that you can do with that, first and foremost, is have some $100 bills and $25 bills, right? Because a standard party, $500 in sales, people are going to make $125, right? So if you print some big money, and I'll post this in the Shazam group, you print big money on cardstock, cut them out, and have some of that displayed on your table, right? Or you can go to the dollar store and get big money, and you can do that route. Have an acrylic frame that has the where will the party take you, or, right, and you can order that on the sales aids, or you have the one that is a printed flyer that has the kid on there. It's like the Join Our Winning Team sheet. It's got the kid on there. It's got the current Say Yes offer on there. It's all on one page. They get to pick what kind of consultant they want to be or start off as. So have one of those printed nicely and put those in an acrylic, put that in an acrylic frame and have that displayed, right? The other thing too, I don't know if you noticed on that table, is a warning envelope, and it says, warning, reading material inside could change your life forever. And so, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but just having something like that on your display table, it's a seed without you even saying anything about it at that moment, okay? So it's creating questions, it's creating curiosity, and it helps just kind of plant that seed, and you didn't even say a word yet, okay? So there's some different points that I'm going to cover and talk to you today about sharing the business. You know, is sharing the business simple? Yes, it is simple. So first I want you to think about that, why recruit? Right? Let's go there first. Why recruit? Well, you might have heard, well, recruiting is the answer, right? Recruiting is the answer. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? And it's the truth. Because if you believe you've got an awesome opportunity, you believe you got a great product, you believe that people benefit from what you have to offer, why wouldn't you share it? Okay? So those are kind of fluff answers. So why? Well, wouldn't you agree that recruiting, it gives you more team members, right? Of course. The more team members you have, the more sales you're going to have, the more money you're going to make. Then the more people you help reach their dreams, the quicker you're going to reach your dreams. You get to partner alongside of one another. It's more fun to learn with others. It's more fun to go to events with people. And why wouldn't you? Let me ask you a question. Do you have residual bills? I know I do. I have bills that come in automatically. So how awesome will it be to have a residual income to help get ahead of those residual bills and create some serious financial freedom or some big gifts? Maybe money's not everything to you, but did you know when you build a team, you can go on some pretty cool trips and earn a car, all expenses paid? There's a lot more opportunities as you welcome team members into the business. So, and our Shazam company, we do a lot of the trainings for those newbies. Your directors do additional trainings for those newbies. So you get to learn while you earn and plug them into the things that we already have going, right? So let me ask you this. How many team members do you want? I'm going to give you some questions that I want you to ask yourself every single month. How many team members do you want? How many are you going to recruit this month? How many will you recruit next month? How many people do I need to talk to bring in a recruit? And typically it's talking to 10 to get one. How about 2 are the first 10 people I'll contact? And we'll go through some different things there for you. When am I going to actually schedule the time in to talk to people about the business? And when will I make calls to fill the schedule for those opportunities to meet people? So your parties, vendor events, things like that. So those are just some simple questions that I want you to first go through. So I wanted to paint that picture first of why share the business. And I have a bunch of notes that I wrote down so I don't miss anything for you, and to just help you through the process. So first, I want you to think about changing your thought process on sharing the business, okay? So first, ask yourself, what frightens you about recruiting? What frightens you? If the answer is nothing, well, great. Then you need to start talking to people ASAP and bringing them into the business, right? But if you're afraid of recruiting, I bet there's a lot of direct sellers that are like you. And so we're going to kind of walk you through. Maybe you've thought about, I'm afraid people are going to think I'm pushy. I hate hearing no, that scares me. How about I'm afraid people won't like me? I'm afraid I don't know enough about the business. I'm afraid my new people won't succeed. I'm afraid I won't find the right people. I'm afraid that we will saturate the market. There's too many people. Or I want this whole area to myself. I'm afraid I can't convince people to join my team. So first, if you've thought of any of those or if you've said them, stop. Recruiting is not about you. It's not about you. It's about the other person. Okay, so you don't have to convince anyone to join your team. That's not your job. Your job is not to convince. Your job is not to twist arms. Your job is not to do any of that. Your job is simply to share with people. That's it. Share with them. So I'm afraid people will think I'm pushy. Well, if you stop trying to convince people, guess what? You won't be pushy. If you stop trying to convince people, you won't be pushy. If you just invite them to hear more about the business, about the opportunity, about the perks, right? Pushy is not taking a no. Pushy is trying to get someone to do something they do not want to do. So ask yourself, do you do that? I bet you don't. Right? So invite people to hear more about the Tupperware perks. How's that flow? I'd love to invite you guys to hear more about our Tupperware perks. Plain and simple. Okay? I hate hearing no. So you would be fine if everybody said yes? Well, stop making it about you. Right? They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to an idea or to what you're offering. They're not saying no to you. It's just about what you've asked them at that moment in time. Also, did you know that a child learn no, right, at a very young age, right? For those of us who have children, you know they learn no rather quickly. Well, guess what? It's so autopilot to say no when really they might want more information, but the first response is no. Think about this. Someone comes to your house and you offer them a snack or a beverage. What's usually the first thing they say? Oh, no, I'm good. You might ask them again 15, 20 minutes later, half an hour. You sure you don't want something to drink? Sure you don't want a snack? Nope, I'm good. Okay. Maybe a half hour later, you ask them again. If they're there for a while, you ask them again. You know, I might take a drink. Usually somebody will say no 3 to 11 times because they're fearful. Okay? I'm afraid people won't like me. Well, you're making it about you. Why wouldn't they like you? People are still going to like you if you're sincere, if you come from your heart, that you're simply sharing the perks about what the business offers. They get to decide if they want to do it or not. Right? I'm afraid I don't know enough about the business. Well, let me share this. The law of one more says you have been in business one more week, one more month, one more year, one more hour than the person you are recruiting. So you will never know everything about the business. Never. I've been in 17 years. I don't know everything. Right? So there's always going to be stuff to learn. Always. I'm afraid my new people won't succeed. It's not your responsibility to make someone succeed. You plug them in to the things that are available to them to help them learn. Help answer questions. And if you don't know the questions, you know where to go find those out. Of course you do. I'm afraid I won't find the right people. This one is definitely scary because I wasn't the right person 17 years ago. There are 15 million people in direct sales in the U.S. alone. There is not a right person. Typically, the people who come in and say, I'm going to sell $3,000 a month, I want to do this, I want to do that, they're usually gone and out the door. Then you have the people who are like, I'm not doing this, I am not selling it, I just want a discount, I'm just going to offer it to friends and family. That was me. Many people, right? Many people are that way. They end up staying in. So there is no right person. And it's not our job to judge. It's our job to offer. Okay? I'm afraid that we are going to saturate the market. Well, this thinking certainly assumes that you and everyone you recruit are going to be selling 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, and it is so difficult to saturate a market. We reach 1% of the population. 1%. So I know different people than, my next door neighbor. My next door neighbor knows different people than I know, and so on. So you're not going to saturate a market, okay? And I'm afraid I can't convince people to join my team. You're right. You cannot convince anyone to do anything that they don't want to do, and that's not your job. So enjoy inviting people to hear more about the perks. And you get to look to see if those people are a good fit for your business, and they will see if the business is a good fit for their lifestyle based on what they're looking for. Plain and simple. So you're talking to them, you're sharing with them to see if they're a good fit, as well as they are hearing and listening to see if it's a good fit for them. You're just having a conversation. Okay? So let's recap. Recruiting is not about you. You don't have to convince anyone to sign up. You just simply need to share with them the perks of the business or what's available to them. Okay, so this is all about the why, some questions to ask yourself, and to kind of change your thought process.